Strangers, believe me when I say, loving me is loving danger. Your heart is bound to break. I walk alone in the night, neath the pale moon. Loving's for the fools. Baby, beware of my body. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. 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 I'm a creeping through the shadows and the corners of your mind. I go where the wind blows. I run but I don't hide. I hear the call of the wild, whispering the name. No, I can't be tamed. My heart belongs to the night. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. 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 I'm a
Alright, guys, sorry about that. We were just chatting and we completely lost track of time. Yeah, blame. Hey, everybody, I have a friend. Welcome, Satellite. How are you, buddy? Yeah. So basically we're going to go through, we're going to do the news. It's not going to be a very long show, guys. Mainly because this little red panda has to go to bed. I've got work this afternoon and hopefully I can get a few hours before I go in. But let's just jump straight into it. Oh boy, that text is small. Hello, Eric. How are you, buddy? How are you, Squirrel? TL in chat. How are you guys? All right. Anybody else I'm missing? No. No, looks like it. Nether has his high horse. Jim Jordan spoke well though. I think we're actually talking about that actually. So yeah. By the way, guys, Satellite and I have just uploaded a video to our gaming channels. Well, he streamed it. I'll be uploading after this. Talking about the loot box situation with gaming and the US. In case some of you guys have not heard, the US is going through and bringing in bills to possibly ban loot boxes in games that are under the age of 18. Red Panda, it makes him so happy. Red Pandas, everybody needs their sleep. That's true. We all do need sleep. Alright. Apart from that, did you see the vote today? So lame. Probably. Presuming you're talking about the vote for regard of contempt. It's actually in the news that we'll cover. I'm going to finish PewDiePie's vid. Be back in 3 minutes. Oh, Squirrel! No worries, buddy. Enjoy. TL, but it's not having a lot of news. It's a bad thing. One calm day in 365. I'll take that. So will I, because TL, I get to go to bed. Squirrel, hi, hit the like and subscribe, which I haven't even done myself. There we go. No voice for Sat. Oh, good point. Yeah.
Thanks.
No worries. Try that. Say hello
Censorship!
Again.
Censorship!
I'm running an authoritarian state here.
Yeah. That help. He does things when we're not live.
Help me! Help me! He keeps me prisoner. Shut up. PUBG done in China. Yeah. Yeah, but
Oh yeah, I heard of that.
What was?
Yeah, that's. Oh, sorry.
What's PUBG done?
No, not that they did anything. It's just that PUBG was it's not. The Chinese government did not authorize it for the country.
Oh.
However, a different game that's like it has taken its place, so that's what's going to be distributed there. Okay. It's through Tencent's online store over in China.
Okay, yeah. Fucking Tencent. Let me guess, this clone of PUBG wouldn't happen to be developed by Tencent or the Chinese government by any chance, would it?
I have no idea on that one. I don't know. I won't say yes or no because I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah. It is a little bit weird, I suppose. But I mean, I don't know. I think it has to do with the fact that some games over there can't be sold in China because they depict certain things. They do have that issue. So, yeah. Anyway.
I think it has more to do, personally, I would say it's probably got more to do with the fact that the Chinese government wasn't getting enough kickbacks.
It could be that. You never know.
Yeah. But they'd probably turn around and said to PUBG, you know, X amount of money from these microtransactions. PUBG told them to go jump. And then we get what we have now. So...
Could be.
Yeah. Kendrick Castero, the Colorado STEM school shooting victim, was set to graduate in 3 days. Castello, 18, was a 4-year member of the robotics team and would have finished his senior year in 3 days. Oh, sorry, just a typical nerd. Can we give this kid an bravery award? Okay, so what you're probably wondering is, who is this Kendrick? So this student has died trying to stop the Colorado shooter. His name was Kendrick. It is after classmates pulled a gun in class. Kendrick Castello couldn't just sit still. He was surrounded by friends he considered family, and they were in danger. Kendrick died when he lunged at the shooter, giving other students at STEM High School Highlands Branch enough time to hide, his family and classmates have said. I know that because of what he did, others are alive. I thank God for that. I love him, and he is a hero and always will be, his dad, John Costello, said. He is much loved. He just loved people that much. The 18-year-old was watching The Princess Bride in his British literature class when the shooter pulled out a gun, demanding that nobody move. After Kendrick lunged at the shooter, 3 other students also tackled the gunman and tried to subdue him while the rest of the class fled the room. Kendrick was the only child, but his friends, including the members of the school's robotic team, were like his siblings, his father said. He would have hosted holiday gift exchange at his home, shared his toys as a child, and would pay for friends' movie tickets if someone didn't have the money. Be selfless, that was what my son was. It got him killed, but he saved others. So, can we give this kid an award, like a bravery award or something?
Yeah, he seems to have a set on him.
Yeah, definitely balls of steel. So look, yeah, dude, yeah, like, well done. I know obviously he can't hear this because he died, but at the end of the day, like, fucking set up. And the thing is, right, this kid, right, he's a bit of a chubby kid, right? He's a solid kid. And I don't know. I want to know, what was he treated like at the school before this? Because now that he went through and he's saved all these kids' lives, I bet you a lot of them are sitting there thinking, you know, I wish I had really got to know this kid. I don't know. Maybe it's maybe it's a typical stereotypical thing where, you know, like, for example, you know, you sit there and think, you know, that this kid's been bullied or whatever because he's, you know, he's not the typical jock. But at the end of the day, I don't know. I can't imagine this kid being popular at school. And I'm thinking now a lot of these kids at his school are probably regretting not getting to know this kid. So, yeah, look, kid, if you're up in heaven looking down on people, I don't know what people believe. I don't necessarily believe in heaven myself, but if there is a heaven and you're looking down on everybody, everybody owes you a debt. Yeah. But anyway, obviously CNN are trying to obviously polarize the situation and obviously go through and make it as about as politics as they can. Apparently, they're reporting there have been 15 school shootings in the US so far this year. I want to know how they come up with that number, but anyway.
They come up with that by including a lot of things that have nothing to do with school shootings into school shooting. What they do.
From someone that covers the news on a daily basis, pretty much, I would say that I don't know if there's been 15. I really don't. But they claim that 19 weeks ended 2019, there have already been 15 school shootings in the US in which someone was hurt or killed. They have occurred across the country from Georgia, California, elementary, middle, high school, and college and university campuses. This is what they're reporting. I haven't had a chance to check this out because I've literally been editing videos all day. But since it's a single definition of what qualifies as a school shooting, CNN set the following parameters. I thought there was a clarification. I thought we knew exactly what involved being a school shooting. But anyway, the shooting must involve at least one person being shot, including the shooter. The shooting must occur on school property, which includes but is not limited to buildings, athletics fields, parking lots, stadiums, and buses. We exclude accidental discharge of firearms as long as the two parameters are met, except in the instances where the sole shooter is law enforcement or a security officer. We include injuries sustained from BB guns. Okay. Since Consumer Product Safety Commission has identified them as potentially lethal. So they're claiming that on May 7th, the Savannah, Georgia, one Savannah State University student was shot in a campus resident facility and transported to hospital. School officials did not release any information about the victim's condition. Okay, but what? One person was shot. What does that mean exactly? That is so vague. Another one, which is the one we've just been talking about. One student died and 8 others were injured in the shooting at the Stems High School, which is obviously definitely a shooting. Egon, Oregon, a 21-year-old man died from a gunshot wound after being shot outside a fraternity house at the University of Oregon. The victim was not affiliated with the university. This doesn't seem like it's a school shooting either. But anyway, Charlottesville, North Carolina. A man armed with a pistol opened fire on the final day of class at the University of North Carolina at Charlottesville, killing 2 people and wounding 4 others. 3 of them critically. The shooter was 22 and a former student. I would say yes, that would obviously be a school shooting. April 1st, Prescott, Kansas. An 8th grade student shot another 8th grade student in the hallway of the Prescott High School. The boy who was shot was sent to hospital. The school district said the shooting appeared to be a premeditated attack. Dubious, but yeah, okay, maybe. A 10-year-old student riding the bus home from Holmes Country Elementary School was injured after he was struck by a bullet in his left hand. It's unclear where the bullet came from. What they counting?
Unclear?
They're counting this as a school. Like, what have they gone to? What 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cases so far, right? And what 3 or 2 of them have been dubious at best.
Yeah.
Like, if you go using this logic, how many of these 15 cases do you reckon are legit?
Suppose none of them, but that's just my opinion, I guess.
I don't know. Look, I reckon some of them are. I reckon some are legit. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's 15. I really do think that this. And thank you CNN for putting the examples there, because now we can debunk you without having to do any research. But like I said, look, at the end of the day, yeah, I would not class all these as school shootings. Out of the 15, I would say you probably got 10 or 8 maybe. January 31st, right? Just picking one at random. A student was shot at high school while trying to buy marijuana from a 17-year-old student. Yeah, okay, that's a school. That's probably. I don't know. Like, a shooting doesn't have to be more than one person being injured.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so, because when you talk about a school shooting, you generally think of, a kid went there to go kill a bunch of people because he's a disgruntled kid or something, I don't generally think of, a drug deal gone wrong.
And
Yeah.
here's another one here. 30th of January, Georgia. A man was injured when he was shot outside Miller Grove High School after school hours. The victim, who was not a student, was running on the school's track when he saw someone trying to break into his vehicle. He confronted the person. He was shot once. This isn't a school shooting. This is armed robbery. Breaking into a vehicle or whatever. This has nothing to do with the school. The guy wasn't even a freaking student.
Yeah, I heard of this one, yeah.
Yeah.
Someone who's not a student included in a school shooting statistic for that school makes no sense whatsoever.
Well, of course, they're just trying to bump up the figures. That's all.
That's exactly what they're always doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, me narrative.
Mm.
But anyway, alright, let's keep going. Marine recruit and other Colorado STEM school students helped disarm the gunman. These are obviously the other guys that ran up after the kid was made the move. So we're going to hear about very heroic things that have taken place at the school, Sheriff said Wednesday at the shooting at the Colorado STEM school. The U.S. Marine recruit and other teenagers rushed one of the shooters at the Colorado school, helped to disarm him, according to police and witnesses. One of the students, Kendall Castro, who we've talked about, 18, died when lunging at the shooter, according to classmates at the STEM High School ranch in Denver suburb. 8 other students were injured in the shooting on Tuesday. Well, at least the Marine recruit, at least he had some training. You know, he was a Marine, so, like, at least a recruit. So, yeah, I suppose it's kind of good in a way. Hero student killed trying to save classmates in Colorado school was just days away from graduating. So everybody's talking about Kendrick at the moment. Colorado school student with plans to become Marine has disarmed the suspect. This is obviously the guy we were just talking about as well. So this is not Kendrick. This is the other guy that rushed after Kendrick ran up. NBC News reports that Brendan Braley, a at STEM, and other students tackled one of the gunmen during 2 p.m. attack. There was one fatality in the shooting, 18-year-old Kendrick. The Bray family released a statement about the incident through an attorney. We're deeply saddened for the victims, families, friends, and communities of this tragedy. We'd like to commend the immediate response of law enforcement and assure that we're all strong with the love of our families, community, friends, and very ones and concerned wishes, strengths we will preserve. What? Anyway, I think there was actually 2 shooters. I think the second shooter was actually female. I saw something about that earlier today. But look, at the end of the day, yeah. As for that, I don't know. Look, yeah. Obviously, it's a tragedy that one of the kids was killed. But it could have been worse too. Apart from that, you got anything to add before we jump on to the next story?
No. I think you covered it all pretty well. It's yeah, bad things do happen. That's one of the things to realize.
Eric says in chat, it's part of the gun control plan. Fluff up the statistics as much as possible, no matter how falsely they may be. Yeah, totally agree, Eric. Yeah. It's all smoke and mirrors, to be honest. All right.
Yeah, it would be nice to see them to see some pushback from the NRA. That's one comment I think I could add.
Yeah, with that though is that people hear the NRA going off about it, and they sit there and go, "Oh, the NRA is pushing back." Yeah. People don't tend to take much notice because it's the NRA. They perceive as seeing as having a bias. Senate Intelligence Committee subpoenas Donald Trump Jr. and Russian probe. What? Why? Why are they subpoenaing John Jr.? Donald Jr. testified in 2007 was only PERIPHERALLY. Peripherally?
Throw it in the chat.
Yeah, general.
General. Oh, okay. Peripherally.
Oh, yeah, yep, that makes sense. Peripherally aware of Trump Tower Moscow deal, Michael Cohen said he briefed Donald Trump Jr. 10 times. Really? This is what they're going for now? Like, Jesus Christ. Washington, the Senate... I'm so sick of talking about Russia that if I never hear about Russia ever again, it'll be too soon.
I agree, It's such a. I mean, they're not an insignificant country or nothing, but I mean, if we're gonna have conversations about Russia, could it be of something of substance for change? You know?
Yeah, instead of this bullshit, like, oh my god, he went through and he supposedly told, he was briefed about it 10 times, and that doesn't quite definition that he, like, oh my god, fuck me drunk. It's just like, really? Like, if I'm sick of hearing about it, can you imagine everybody else? Everybody else would be so freaking sick of hearing about it, to be honest. The Senate Intelligence Committee has subpoenaed Donald Trump Jr. to answer questions about his contention that he had only limited knowledge of a project to build a Trump Tower in Moscow. A source with direct knowledge told NBC News. Give me the fucking source's name or I don't want to hear about it. Yeah, the Russia probe is over, Eric. The Democrats are just desperate because they need to win the election. The committee, led by Republicans, is near completion of its investigation into Russian interference. The probe is expected to result in a series of written reports. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about Don Jr. I don't care about Trump Tower. Moving on. Kentucky teen who sued over school ban for refusing chickenpox vaccination has now chickenpox, apparently. Good on him. It's actually a good thing to have when you're a kid, but anyway. Family has no regrets about his inaction, which could have prevented the highly preventable childhood malady. A northern Kentucky. I've lost the philodis to speak properly. A northern Kentucky teenager banned from school for refusing the chickenpox vaccination due to his religious beliefs has come down with the childhood malady, his attorney said on Wednesday. Jeremy Kendall, a student at Our Lady of Sacred Heart Assumption Academy, first started showing chickenpox symptoms last week and hopes to have recovered by next week, a lawyer for the 18-year-old told NBC News.
Oh, he's not going to die? Shocker.
To be honest, having chickenpox when you're a kid is actually better for you, because when you're an adult, it actually can cause sterility and whatnot. And from someone who had the vaccination against chickenpox, I managed to still get it as an adult.
Wow.
Like, it didn't do shit for me. I still fucking got it. I still got it as an adult.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Fucking suck your vaccinations down on that, I suppose. House panel approves contempt for Barr after Trump claims privilege over the full Mueller report. Oh my fucking god. Make them stop. Oh. Washington, the House Judiciary Committee voted Wednesday to recommend the House hold Attorney General William Barr in contempt of Congress for failing to turn over Robert Mueller III's unredacted report. The unredacted report, which the only things apparently have been redacted are to harm investigations. But don't worry. The House committee votes to hold Attorney General Barr in contempt. Right. The House Judiciary Committee holds William Barr in contempt of Congress. House panel votes to hold Barr in contempt as Trump asserts executive privilege over Mueller files. But I was actually reading earlier today. I'll just see if I've actually got the article here. I might just have to freeball it. No, I'm going to have to... Oh, here it is here. Not a single Democrat has looked at least redacted Mueller report. So they're holding Barr in contempt for not releasing the full report. Meanwhile, not one of them has gone through and looked at even the redacted report. This is how much they care about the Mueller report, right? Not one of them has gone to at least read it. So
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
well, neither am I. But what are you complaining about, right? Like, obviously, their argument's going to be something along the lines of, for example, oh, we don't want to read this. This is the redacted version, right? But how do you know what's redacted out of it? You haven't read the redacted version? By the way, some guy that has an avatar as a fucking red panda has read the report, and you guys haven't, so what the fuck are you doing? But regardless. But at the end of the day, how do you know what's redacted and what's not redacted? How do you know if you need to see the full redacted report if you haven't even seen the one that's been released? Like, if you're sitting there and you're reading the report and you're like, I want to know what this next sentence is, right? Then at the end of the day, that you can sort of make excuse for it. What are your thoughts?
I can't believe I have to say this. He can't release the unredacted report. There's information that is, I mean, have they not heard of classification?
Oh, well, this is the same Democratic Party that, Hillary Clinton was a part of, so probably not.
Oh, you're right, yeah. They don't understand the concept of classified information, do they?
No.
And ongoing investigations and things like that.
Yeah.
God, they're a bunch of idiots.
Like, look, at the end of the day, would I like the full report? Sure. Lay it on me, Trump. Butter me up, sort of. Flip me over butter side. But at the end of the day, the fact is that I understand that there are going to be things in this report that they can't release because of the fact that they are looking into further reports. They're looking into further investigations. And they don't want to give... Fine. If that's the case, fine. As long as it's not an excuse. I get that. But, like... Oh, my God. Like, we want the full report. Why? You haven't even read the redacted one yet. Ever since Barr said no collusion, no obstruction, they want nothing to do with the report now. Apparently, but they're going to hold... And look, let's face it, the only reason why they're going after Barr is because they want to go through, they want to hold him in contempt, because at the end of the day, they can then throw him and get him disbarred, they can get him indicted or impeached. And that's what they want. They want him out of the White House. They want someone else in there that's going to be more along their lines, that's going to play ball with the deep state. And they're shocked. They're pissed off that Barr is not playing ball. They're like, oh my God, Trump actually has an AG that is actually going to not only stick up for Trump, but stick up for the American people. That's what he's supposed to do. That's what the AG is supposed to do. Like...
Yeah.
I can't... Keep digging, Democrats. You'll get to China. Did they forget who Barr is? This is not his first rodeo. True. Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah. It's not his first rodeo, and I have to wonder, like, Barr and all the other guys there, they must just be, like, frustrated.
Well, you heard Trump. Like, Trump, when it was announced about the investigation, his response was, this is the end. This is the end of my presidency. You can start to understand why he was so frustrated. Like, they're parasites. They're just, that's all they are. They're leeches. Just sucking the blood off a frigging, perjury shop. Yeah, true. They're just sucking the blood off the victims, and I'm echoing. Yeah, that's Satellite when he unmutes himself. But yeah. But I'm so over the Democratic Party. I really, really am. Like, this is just fucking. It's just. I just want to. I don't know. Anyway, Donald Trump Jr. rebuffs Senate GOP subpoena for more Russia hoax testimony. Donald Trump Jr., President Trump's eldest son, is rebuffing a subpoena from the State Intelligence Committee in an attempt to compel him to testify again before Congress on the Russia hoax scandal, setting off a major internal battle inside the Republican Party. Yeah, that's okay. It's I can hear it too sometimes too. It's
Busted my audibility.
okay.
That should help.
Cool. Yeah. Donald Trump Jr. subpoenaed to appear before the Senate Intelligence Committee because, you know, I mean, narrative is not completely dead. There's still a little bit of life left in this horse. Let me flog it some more. President Donald Trump's eldest son, Donald Trump Jr., has been subpoenaed to appear before the Senate Intelligence Committee. Why? The American public with half a brain is frustrated, says Squirrel in chat, and I could not agree with you more. I really couldn't. DOJ on contempt vote. No one will enforce the Department of Justice to break the law. So the Department of Justice reacted defiantly to Democrats voting on the House Judiciary Committee on Wednesday to recommend that Attorney General William Barr be held in contempt of Congress for refusing to release the full and unredacted report of Special Counsel investigation into Russian collusion during the 2016 frigging dead horse. Because that's what it is. It's a frigging dead horse they keep flogging. The Department of Justice was defiant, releasing a statement after the contempt vote that insisted that Attorney General could not comply with the House Judiciary Committee. Of course, the House Judiciary Committee is run by the Democrats because they own the House subpoena without violating the law. Chairman Nadler's actions have prematurely terminated the accommodation process and forced the president to assert executive privilege to preserve the status quo. Like, hey man, the American idiots are going crazy. They literally are, man. They are, like, this is absolutely insane. It really, really is. Donald Trump revealed his $1 billion tax write-off on The Apprentice 15 years before the New York Times bombshell. So critics gloated over President Trump's newly revealed tax details from the New York Times, but his economic struggles in the 90s were no surprise for fans of his hit NBC TV show, The Apprentice. Oh shit, they're morons. It wasn't so easy. About 13 years ago, I was serious trouble. I was billions of dollars in debt, Trump said in his opening narrative of the main title show of the show in 2004. But I fought back and I won big leagues. How do you feel, Democrats? You finally go through and you get some of his tax details. You go on about, yes, we got tax details. And then you realize that his tax details were in the intro to his hit frigging show 14 or something years ago. Jesus Christ, they're morons. The New York Times reported new tax information about Trump's real estate businesses in a widely reported expose showing a $1.7 billion loss in his various businesses between 1985 and 1994, which we knew about. The Trump also detailed his debt struggles in the 90s in his 1997 book, The Art of a Comeback. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Morons. You just imagine them sitting there around just checking themselves off, you know, going, oh yes, yes, we got Trump's details, oh yes. And then someone just turning around saying, do you realize that you actually put this in this show and also in a book 14 years ago?
It's no secret that he had failings. Like, you know what? I've even had conversations with my own mum, who doesn't really know Trump, but hates him because my narrative. Like, yeah, she's a bit of a liberal and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, I mean, she knows about it. Like, she's like, yeah, and he went bankrupt and he sucks at business and all this stuff, and I'm like, yeah, he did. We know.
Yeah, but then he came back.
This is not new, man.
And he's worth $3.5 billion right now.
Yeah, it's exactly. He is a good businessman, but it's not exactly unusual for an old man who is good at business to have sucked at it when he's in his 20s and 30s. Yeah, it's called experience.
He's like 60 or 70. Like, you're going to tell me there's a time where he's made a bad business decision? Oh my fucking god! Who would have thought? I'm going to play the intro for this show, just because at the end of the day, I think it's funny. I really, really do. I think it's really funny to hear him actually say this in the intro, and these idiots.
And private resorts like Mar-a-Lago, one of the most spectacular states anywhere in the world. But it wasn't always so easy. About 13 years ago, I was seriously in trouble. I was billions of dollars in debt. But I fought back, and I won. Big league. I used my brain, I used my negotiating skills, and I worked it all out. Now my company's bigger than it ever was, it's stronger than it ever was, and I'm having more fun than I ever had.
Oh, freaking Mike. Oh, squirrel in chat. It's so nauseating. It really is. Yeah. Maybe this is what the Democrats want. Maybe the Democrats are hoping that if they act so retarded that maybe, just maybe, they'll drive the Republicans crazy.
You think they would? Okay, that's a strange theory.
Like, maybe that's the idea. Maybe that's the plan. Is that we just drive everybody absolute crazy with this derangement syndrome, so that we can get through and make the Republicans go nuts. I don't know. I'm starting to think it's effective, because I'm starting to lose my shit over this. I'm just like, we got him. We got tax returns, and they just happen to be the same thing that he mentioned 14 years ago in the intro of his show. That was literally ran as an intro to his show. Like, moving on. Schumer, if we do our jobs, Trump won't win or won't last that long. On Tuesday's broadcast of MSNBC, All In, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said that if the Democrats do their job, Trump will not win the presidency, or he won't last that long to get there if we do our job right. Really?
Okay, you keep telling yourself that, guys.
2 terms, 2 scoops, 2 genders. Like, oh my god.
I haven't heard that. That's funny. They're 2 terms, 2 genders.
It's frustrating. It's Joe Belahair, I might be mispronouncing, responds to Trump's tax info. Ask voters, would you let him invest your money? Yes, Trump. I have money in the bank account right now. If Trump can turn my measly few $1,000s that I have in my bank account into $3.5 billion, I will gladly give Trump my money. Trump, you let me know, Trump. Yes, if he can make that few $1,000s into $10,000, $20,000, whatever it may be, I will gladly let Trump invest it. Because guess what? He went from being $1 million in debt to $3.5 billion in less than 14 years. Like,
I don't know. I don't know if I would.
I would.
I tend not to. I tend not to invest money because things often go bad. I mean, I've tried it in the past and I lost like a bit of money, a few $100. Yeah.
I've actually been pretty good with investments. I actually inherited my grandfather's brains when it comes to money, so I've done alright for myself.
Oh, there you go.
But
that's good.
But yeah, no. But seriously, if Trump came up and said to me, "I want," say I had $5,000 sitting in the bank account, right? Just pulling numbers out of my ass. Say Trump came up and said that $5,000, I can invest it for you, and I can give you $20,000 in a year. I would be like, boom, done. Just give me an autograph on a mega hat, right? And that's it. Like, yeah. I would be like, yeah, because he is good at business. The American economy is proof of this. Let's face it, a country, and this is what I said when he was running, a country is virtually like a business. You have money going in, money going out, imports, exports, whatever it may be. You have tariffs, right? You have deals that you have to make. Is anybody shocked that Trump is a good businessman or that Trump knows how to run the US economy? Like, no one's shocked. No one's surprised that the US economy is doing really, really well. He turned $1 million in debt to $3.5 billion. Like, make them stop. Brexit Party candidate for Petersburg by election, Mike Green, is long life Tory voter and star of Channel 4's Secret Millionaire. A long-life Conservative supporter who is in his early investors in a music app Shazam and appeared on Channel 4's The Secret Millionaire is the Brexit Party's candidate for the next month's Petersburg by-election. You know, there's nothing like the establishment running for politics, is there? Is anybody else concerned about a millionaire running in politics?
No, I mean, Trump did it.
True, yeah. But Trump was an outsider. And look, maybe this guy is too, maybe. I don't know. Mike Green, a former trustee of Petersburg Cathedral and local benefactor, will fight the June 6th by-election in a bid to give Nigel Farage's party his first foothold in Westminster. Such is the pace of activity in the new Brexit Party that Mr. Green only met Mr. Farage for the first time on Tuesday night at a rally in Petersburg. All candidates from the June 6th by-election have to be declared by 4 p.m. on Thursday. I believe he's good at business, but I wouldn't want anyone touching my money, says Squirrel in chat. You don't want anyone touching your nuts, is that right, Squirrel?
Good one.
Thank you. I will not
yield. That's funny.
Great. Economy is great. I get paid $1,500 less in taxes in 2018. The economy is great. I paid $1,500 less in taxes in 1998. Yeah. I presume you mean the financial year. And does that include all of Trump's new tax execs at the moment? Or are there still more this year that you get to write off? I will not yield. Republican Jordan refuses to back down to Nadler, goes off on the Democrats for attacking Barr, cover-up Spygate. We do have a video, and we're just going to play the video because it's frustrating. It really is. It's frustrating to listen to the Democrats talk. I'm over it. What moment the
Gentleman is
Democrats?
recognized.
Bill Barr is following the law, and what's his reward? Democrats are going to hold him in contempt. I don't think today's actually about getting information. I don't think it's about getting the unredacted Mueller report. I don't think last week's hearing was actually about having staff question the Attorney General. I think it's, as my colleague said earlier, I think it's all about trying to destroy Bill Barr because Democrats are nervous he's going to get to the bottom of everything. He's going to find out how and why this investigation started in the first place. Never forget what Bill Barr said a few weeks ago, 3.5 weeks ago, when he testified in front of the Senate Finance Committee. Said a lot of important things, but he said four very interesting things. First, he said there was a failure of leadership at the upper echelon, term he used, upper echelon of the FBI. We all know that's the case. Director Comey's been fired. Deputy Director McCabe fired, lied 3 times under oath, according to the Inspector General. FBI counsel Jim Baker demoted and left, currently under investigation by the Justice Department. Lisa Page demoted and left. Peter Strzok, Deputy Head of Counterintelligence, demoted and fired. Peter Strzok, the guy who ran the Clinton investigation and the Russian investigation. There was certainly a failure of leadership at the upper echelon of the FBI. Second thing the Attorney General said 3.5 weeks ago in front of the Senate Finance Committee. Spying did occur. Said it twice. Yes, spying did occur. Third, he said, there's a basis for my concern about the spying that took place. And maybe the most interesting thing, 2 terms he used that frankly I find frightening. He said there was, in his judgment, he thinks there may have been unauthorized surveillance and political surveillance. Scary terms. We got to go back to January 3rd, 2017. Senator Schumer on the Rachel Maddow show talking about then President-elect Trump says this: if you take on the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you. Now, I don't know if the FBI went after President Trump in 6 ways, but I sure know they went after him in 2 ways. And the first one is the now famous dossier. On October 21st, 2016, the FBI used one party's opposition research document as the basis to go to a secret court to get a warrant to spy on the other party's campaign. That happened. Democrat National Committee, the Clinton campaign, paid Perkins Coie law firm, who hired Fusion GPS, who then hired a foreigner, Christopher Steele, who did what? Talked to Russians and put together this salacious, verified document that became the basis to get a warrant to spy on the Trump campaign. They did it. And when they went to the court, they didn't tell them important things like who paid for it. They didn't tell them that Christopher Steele had already told the FBI and the Justice Department that he was, quote, desperate to stop Trump. And they didn't tell the court that Christopher Steele had been fired by the FBI because he's out talking to the press. They did that. And second, just last Thursday, New York Times story, FBI sent investigator posing as an assistant to meet with the Trump aide in 2016. FBI sent someone in, pretending to be somebody else, to talk with George Papadopoulos, who was with the Trump campaign. You know what they call that? You know what they call that?
Entrapment?
It's called spying. They did it. They did it. They did it twice, and who knows how much more. And what I know is Bill Barr has said he's going to get to the bottom of it. And think about the term he used again. This is important. Political surveillance in the United States of America. I will not yield. Think about that term. He's going to get to the, he said he's going to put a team together, going to investigate all this. This is critical. And never forget the guy who ran this investigation, Peter Strzok, ran the Clinton investigation and then launched and ran the Trump-Russia investigation. Never forget what he said. Trump should lose $100 million to zero. We need an insurance policy. Told Lisa Page, don't worry, Lisa, we'll stop Trump. This is what Bill Barr wants to investigate. And as my colleagues have said, this is the House Judiciary Committee, with the history this committee has in protecting fundamental liberties and protecting the Constitution. Last week there was another important document Emmett Flood, sent to the Attorney General. I just want to read a couple sentences. Under our system of government, unelected executive branch officers and intelligence agency personnel are supposed to answer to the person elected by the people, the president, and not the other way around. This is not a Democrat or Republican issue. It's a matter of having a government responsible to the people, to we the people. In the partisan commotion surrounding the Mueller report, it would be well to remember that what can be done to a president can be done to any of us. And this committee is supposed to look out for that fundamental fact more than anything else. And we are not doing that today.
That's actually a really good statement. That's actually really interesting. I didn't see what Matt Jez said. Play that video. I don't know if I actually have that video, do I? Don't think I actually have that video, man. Yeah. This stuff makes Watergate look like a puddle of water in comparison. It does, actually. It really, really does. I said that weeks ago. I said that this is going to be the next Watergate. But yeah. Obviously, you couldn't hear that stat. But what they basically was saying, Jim Jordan is saying the reason why they're going after Barr is because of the fact that he thinks it's because Barr's going after the Obama administration and the Democrats in regards to the false investigation into Trump.
Oh, okay.
It's an interesting theory, and it probably actually makes a lot of sense.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, that is interesting.
I didn't see what Matt Gez said. I don't think Matt Gez was on the video.
Gentleman's recognized.
So I could probably look it up. YouTube. Alright. Matt Gez. Alright, here it is here. Yep, I got it. Fox News. 8 hours ago. Alright.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Glad to see that the microphone's working this week. My good friend from Georgia just asked the operative question. How can we impeach if we don't get the documents? How can we impeach if we don't get the documents? Ladies and gentlemen, this hearing is not about the Attorney General. It's not about the Mueller report, 92% of which everyone in America has had the opportunity to read. It's not about the fact that even the portions that the American people haven't been able to read, the chairman's been able to go read had he chosen. This is all about impeaching the president. Now, why don't they just say it? Why don't they just jump to the impeachment proceedings like their liberal media overlords are telling them to do? Well, the reason is that the American people don't support impeachment. And it's easy to understand why. They actually went and elected Donald Trump in the United States. And I don't think people are going to support impeaching a president who's doing so well. I mean, you got 3.2%
yeah, he's from Florida.
Yep. The Trump economy is hot. And the reason we're doing so well is as a consequence of the president's policies. And so at a time when my Democrat colleagues are focused on the next election and not solutions to the problems facing Americans, they can't attack the president's policies because people are doing well. So typically they roll next to identity politics, that based on what you look like, who you pray to, or who you love, you can't possibly support Republicans.
Yep, all right, man.
But African Americans are doing better. Hispanics are doing better. Women are doing better. We are seeing a rising tide that is truly lifting votes in this country. And so now we have this effort, not to argue with policies, not to typically go to the identity politics that functions as the organizing principle of today's Democratic Party. They have to delegitimize the guy that won, delegitimize the guy that people voted for, but they don't have the guts to do it directly, and so they're going after the Attorney General. Now, the gentleman from Georgia in his last remark said, we are hiding behind the rules. Behind the rules. These are federal laws that dictate what the Attorney General can and cannot do. We're not hiding behind the rules. We just like to follow them. By the way, it's not following the rules that got us in this trouble in the first place. When the Inspector General testified before us, he said it's the fundamental fact that during the investigations of Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, you saw continuous examples of a one-off here, a violation of protocol there. The Inspector General said never before had he seen a circumstance where the very same team that was investigating Hillary Clinton would then go and investigate the other person that was involved in the 2016 presidential contest. About a month ago, in this committee, I laid out the stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And I think that folks watching at home can probably follow along and see where we're headed. First, my Democratic colleagues were in denial. They saw that there was no collusion after saying for 22 months that the president was an agent of the Russian government, after saying for 22 months that there was actual evidence of collusion. They were in denial when they saw the conclusion that there wasn't. Then there was anger. It had to be the Attorney General's fault. Mueller didn't make a decision on obstruction. Somebody had to. The Attorney General did. So they got mad at him. And we had this whole kerfluffle of anger. Well, now we know the third step: bargaining. Well, Mr. Attorney General, you've given us 92% of the Mueller report, but we have to bargain for the remaining 8% because that's really where we think the action is. Well, Mr. Attorney General, you spent 5 hours before the Senate Judiciary Committee. 3 of our presidential candidates got to question you. You offered to come before the House Judiciary Committee. You offered to come for an additional hour of questioning, but we have to bargain so that our staff lawyers can ask you questions. Now, I don't think it's a good sign that the next sign after bargaining is depression. So I feel for my Democrat colleagues, but after that we get to acceptance, and that's sure something that I'm looking forward to, because there are some really good ideas that my Democratic colleagues have once they kind of get to acceptance on the no Russia collusion thing. My friend, the gentleman from Rhode Island, has excellent ideas about how to change the way that consumers interface with big tech companies. My colleague from the state of New York is right, that if the First Step Act is the only Step Act, then that would be a bad thing. We need to do more on criminal justice reform. My colleague who's not with us from California, Mr. Swalwell, he's got great ideas to unlock potential cures with medical cannabis reform, but we're not doing any of those things. And by the way, I bet a bunch of my friends on the other side of the aisle low-key wish that their actual bills that would impact the lives of Americans would get heard instead of this garbage. The Obama administration ran an intel operation against the Trump campaign. Peter Strzok opened it up, the dossier kept it going, and now the Democrats need to get over it. I yield back.
Wow. Holy shit. Can we give like F in the chat for like the Republicans right now? Because they're slamming the Democrats. They really, really are. Like, it's just...
The F in the chat would be for the Democrats, not the Republicans.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean, yeah. Oh, pay respect, yeah. Oh, I don't know, it's still respect for the Republicans for slamming the Democrats. I just realised we could have played that on the bot, so you could have heard it too. But anyway. Basically, it's Getez, I might be mispronouncing. He's the Republican from Florida. He was basically just slamming them, saying that, you know, they need to get over it. That the Democrats are literally going through the 5 stages of grief when it comes to the Mueller report. So he reckons they're up to stage 3. Next stage is depression. So I don't know. Maybe we're going to see a whole bunch of Democrats standing on the roof of the buildings, threatening to jump or something. I don't know. Yeah, but anyway.
So you know how YouTube had that thing about depression a while back, and they went through all that controversy.
Yeah.
So we'll start seeing the Republicans doing it.
Yeah. Can we put the Democrats on suicide watch? Just saying.
Yeah, we'll be covering the articles. Antidepressant wave through the Democrat Party.
Yeah. The White House prescribes antidepressants to the Democrats. Nancy Pelosi hospitalized with depression. Yeah, but anyway. And last thing for the day, Charlie Kirk announces a $25,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of Trump tax data leaker. Turning Point USA founder and executive director Charlie Kirk announced a reward from an undisclosed donor Wednesday for any information that leads to the arrest of the individual who illegally leaked President Trump's personal tax details.
I thought it was released. I didn't know it was leaked.
It was leaked, yeah. This is the thing where, for example, he supposedly was $1 million in debt like 13 years ago. The thing that was literally on the front of his TV show. Like, yeah, this is the leak. This is what they've done. No worries,
Imagine being so proud.
Sorry.
Imagine being so proud about leaking information and going, "Ha, we got you, Trump," and then everyone goes,
That was my point. Yeah, that was my point. Like, they're sitting here, flapping off to, oh my God, we got Trump's tax returns. Oh my God, we're going to leak them. Oh yes, this is going to be a great day in the media. And then someone just turning around saying, it was at the intro of his show 13 years ago. It was in his book. He wrote about it in his freaking book. Oh, I don't know. Anytime, Squirrel Man. If you guys have any suggestions for videos, let me know. And we'll always generally play them, especially when we've got free time like today. I have no problems bringing the videos up. Apart from that, is there anything else that you have? Anything else we need to talk about before this little squirrel goes to bed?
No, I wouldn't want to keep you up. I don't think there was anything interesting. I suppose I would have brought up. I have some things I saw about like tech and games today, but yeah, it's not politics.
Okay. Squirrel One, let me know. I'm female. My figurative nuts. Yes, I know you're female, but it was still funny. It was still yeah.
Well, a squirrel, even a female squirrel, still has nuts.
True.
It's what they hoard, right?
Exactly. That was the point. The squirrel goes through as hoarding the nuts to save the money. Yeah. But anyway, apart from that, guys. Sorry. Yep.
Yeah. I was just saying, we were being completely PC here.
Yeah. Apart from that, guys, same bat time tomorrow, same bat station. They were great videos of Jim and Matt ripping into the Democrats. They really were, Eric. I like those videos. Those videos made me less insane than I was going. Thank you for that. Thank you, Squirrel, for helping me with my sanity. Because otherwise I might need to go on depressants. The Democrats are going to make me go depressed. Apart from that, guys, obviously, look, we'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Australian time, or whatever the times were for. So, San Francisco, 4 p.m. Dallas is 6 p.m. Washington is 7 p.m. Toronto is at 7 p.m. 1 a.m. for Sweden. London is 12 a.m. and Australia is 9 a.m. No offense. That's all right. Yeah, that's all good. But apart from that, guys, obviously we'll see you guys tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat station. I'm going to go and get some sleep before I pass out and have to go to work. So, yeah. Anything else you want to say before bye?
No, that's it.
No, all right.
I'm going to eat my pie.
He's going to eat his pie. I'm going to go to bed. And I'm going to start uploading this our 1 hour long video because my internet is going to have a fit. Apart from that, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Everybody, thanks for showing up. Everybody, thanks for smacking that like button. Everybody who obviously goes through and does talk and chat. We love you guys. You make our show so much more fun. Apart from that, guys, obviously, everybody, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat station, same bat insanity from the Democrats. Apart from that, good night. Enjoy. Catch you guys later. Bye.
Bye. Good night.